All right, family, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining me on the program. Appreciate it. Looks like we had kind of a choppy start, but, we'll continue to roll through it. And appreciate you guys being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let me know you're watching from inside the comment box. Today is Wednesday. It is March 18th. And how many of you are on spring break? All right. Here in the great city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, we're on spring break, right? Basically, you follow the university's schedule. So whatever the university says, that's kind of what everybody does. So we are on spring break here. Had a chance to disconnect just for a couple days. But as I said on the podcast, it's not like I can ever really disconnect. I mean, I still carry my gear with me. And I was asking you guys about feedback inside the comment box because I've done some remote lives. And I was kind of curious to get your take on some of the remote lives. How do you guys feel about those remote lives? Do you guys like them? By the way, we'll get right into the call-in line today. So 205-850-1994. Let me do a quick open, and then we'll jump right into the calls. All right? Can you guys see the call-in line if I move this way? 205-850-1994. And if you're on spring break, I hope you're having a really good time. Let me know where you're at. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys down at the beach, up at the mountains, I know everybody kind of goes down to the beach. My daughter is actually down on the water. She's coming back today, though. There's been a lot of news, clearly, right? The big one with Aiden Holloway getting arrested, and he's not going to be available this weekend for Alabama's game against Hofstra. And I had a video recently go out, and I was, kind of wondering which players will kind of jump up for Alabama. Which players could we see emerge at this point in time? I'm kind of thinking maybe somehow, some way, maybe Jalil Pathia. I don't know. So happy to discuss some Alabama basketball if you call in. On the Alabama football side, they've had 4 practices, and then they went on spring break. To be honest, it's always kind of been like that. They've had a practice or 2, and then they go on spring break. I don't know why they do it that way. I don't know if there's any other programs that also do it that way. I would wonder if they just continue to do it like one, consecutive, couple of weeks, but whatever. So they go on spring break, and then they'll come back, and then they'll finish out spring football with A-Day being on April 11th. So I know a lot of storylines to track. And look, everybody's going to talk about the quarterbacks. Everybody's going to talk about maybe, the emergence or hopefully an emergence of the running game. But it's all about the offensive line, right, on the offensive side. This morning I talked about the Alabama defense and about 4 guys who I'm kind of anticipating, or that have made my ears perk up early in spring football. And I don't think we really know much about the quarterback battle right now other than it's just like these guys just started practicing and they've been through 4 games. But it is interesting to think about it and interesting to play kind of devil's advocate, right, about the quarterback position. And, we got guys, clearly, but they just don't have a lot of experience. So happy to talk about that as well. But with that said, family, the call line is open. So you want to call in, you want to chat, you want to ask me a question, you want to present something to the community, go ahead. The call line is 205. It is 850-1994. I'm sure we'll hear from our usuals today. And we start off with Chris from New Jersey. Let's see if we can be smooth on the call-in line. I think last week we had some bumps as well, but we'll continue to cruise through it. Let's see. Do we have Chris from New Jersey? Chris, what's up, man? Good morning to you.
Kyle, happy hump day, my friend. Happy hump day. And belated happy St. Patrick's Day. Amazing. We haven't spoken since you got the new backdrop, man.
Yeah, we've added a lot of, backdrops and kind of this and that. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'll say this. My wife was, I was watching, and my wife walked by and she saw your backdrop, and my wife goes, "Ooh, that looks very regal."
Regal, okay. Yeah, I mean, I have
regal.
I have a couple
of regal.
Yeah,
regal.
I have a couple of backdrops that I've been going kind of back and forth with. I got the Collins Show. This is the one that we're rocking today. I got the Wake Up Bama one in the background. I don't know, just kind of trying to spice it up a little bit. And I don't know. I think it's been kind of a good touch to the show.
This one is not. This one is nice, Kyle. It's anybody describing something as regal. Come on, man.
For sure. Yeah, I love that word too. Yeah, regal. So Chris from New Jersey's on the line.
Did you tell everybody where you were? Were you in Atlanta? Where were you?
That is disclosed information.
Secret?
I was waiting for people to see if anybody would kind of guess where it was at. I know that there was a bunch of guesses inside the comment box. Maybe I'll reveal on Thursday. All right, is that your guess, Chris? Atlanta?
Well, that would be my guess. Yes, I mean I'm probably wrong, but. All right, so my one little blurb of the day on spring break down in Alabama is Keelan Russell is going to be the day one starter, kids.
Yeah,
100%. So, and by the way, you notice like when he's throwing, when all the quarterbacks are throwing at the same time, he's in the middle. Did anybody catch that?
Say that again, Chris.
Go back and look at the. So when all the quarterbacks are throwing at the same time, all five of them.
Yeah.
Keelan Russell's in the middle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've looked at
everybody. Look at that,
and I've looked at things every single which way too. Because I have a microscope. I'm like, is this an angle? Could we look at this, a particular way? Look, I'm going to bring up what you were talking about because as you say it, now I'm looking at this photo. You're about to see it in 2 seconds. Chris in New Jersey, did he just crack the code? He is. Look, he is in the middle right here. Okay, so you have.
But he's been in the middle. He's been in the middle a bunch. And go back. And by the way, go back and look at like Mac Jones and Milrow. They're all in the middle. Who's in the middle, kids? Who's in the middle?
Yeah, it is Keelan Russell. Yeah, nice point out. Yeah,
this is the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
So there's our starter right there. Everybody get a good look.
Yeah.
There's our guy. Yeah. He's going to take us to the natty. All right, Kyle. Stay regal, my friend. Have a glorious day. My best to you. My best to the undefeated, and we will talk soon, brother.
All right, man. Sounds good. Yeah, take it easy. All right. Good lead off with Chris Ichiro from New Jersey, right? All right. 737. I think we got Mike down in Choctaw coming up next on the program. Cody, where you at? The fans are calling for Cody, and this is me, Lucas. I mean, you guys got to come together, right? I mean, there's no better duo, maybe like Bert and Ernie or someone like that. But I think, this is me, Lucas, and Cody. You guys got to be warming up. What's up? All right, we'll go down to Choctaw, and we'll take this call from Mike. Mike, what's up, man? Good morning to you. This is Turn Up Mike on the line. Good morning, bro.
Yes, good morning, Kyle. Good morning, everybody out there in Bama Nation. And how you been doing, Kyle?
I've been doing great. I think I kept on commenting that the month of February was going to fly by, and it did. But I didn't necessarily anticipate March to be going this fast either. I mean, look at this. We just passed St. Patty's Day, right? It's March 18th today. I mean, next week when they start, that's going to be we're getting down to the end of March, and then pretty soon you're going to have A-Day. So we have absolutely been cooking through the month of March as well.
Yes, this year is flying by, Kyle. And, when you're younger, it seems like, the days go by slow, but when you're older, it seems like the years go by fast. You know what I mean? So it's just a trick in life. But, hey, man, it's okay with me because every day we're closer to A-Day and closer to kickoff. So I'm happy about that, dude. And speaking of which, Kyle, like I've been listening to all your podcasts, your shows. You're putting out good information on your channel. And one thing I'm picking up on, man, is I'm kind of, the more I look into spring practice, kind of the more excited I am and hopeful about the year coming up. Mm-hmm. Because, number one, two things in particular, Kyle. The defense is the defense. They got it covered. Like, I'm not too worried about the defense, but the offense, it seems like our offensive line is coming together. So we already know who our left tackle is going to be. We know who our right tackle is going to be. Mm-hmm. And our center, I think. So, I mean, it looks like the pieces of the puzzle on the offensive line are coming together better. And that's my biggest concern. Running game, yes, but it goes hand in hand with the O-line. So I'm very happy to see our O-line coming together quicker than I expected to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Go ahead, Mike. Continue, bro.
Well, another thing, with that being said, maybe the O-line coach has something to do with it. But also, man, I see just from my personal observations, right, with Ryan Grubb.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a different attitude this year than last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was sore over being fired from the Seahawks last year. I don't know if that hurt his pride. But a lot of times last year, I thought he was just like 75% in the game, man. He was disappointing with his attitude, his demeanor last year. This year, with Ryan Grubb, there seems to be more of an urgency with him, it seems like. He seems to be more involved, giving more detailed explanations. He seems to be more hands-on. And his attitude, his demeanor's changed a little bit. He's a little more, intense, for lack of better words, a little more, I guess, focused, I guess I should say. But I'm like what I'm seeing with Ryan Grubb, man. I think, like I mentioned, I don't know what the deal was last year with him. He only seemed to his head wasn't in the game. I think he was upset about getting fired. This year is a different story. So I like the new attitude I see in Ryan Grubb. And I like the promise that we have in the O-line. If we can get them two things clicking, man, I think the future's bright for us, Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate the point outs, and we'll do some shout outs in a second. I see Jarvis, Bruce, Max. We see King's Family React, Ryan Harris Music, everybody inside the comment box. I think that when you're kind of looking at the Alabama offensive line, right? It was really interesting to me to see that Grubb officially named Jackson Lloyd as a starter early on. I think that was promising for us, right? Because we wanted some updates with that Alabama offensive line. And everybody's been talking about Alabama's offensive line. And I started to kind of talk about Jackson Lloyd as much as I could, kind of, January, February, because I started hearing really good things about him. And, now that you see him named a starter, I think, okay, we got to figure out the guards, and I don't think the guards can be figured out yet until we get back William Sanders. It sounds like Will Sanders, according to Coach Kalen DeBoer is going to fight for one of those starting spots, but I don't really know much more about the guard position. I think there's a lot of guys that can maybe rotate for that guard position. I think Ty Haywood, I think Nick Brooks, it seems like Will Sanders. Haven't really heard too much about Casey Poe, but that's where it's always going to start, right, Mike? It's always going to start with the offensive line, and a really good update from Grubb as we kind of went into spring break is that we got 3 out of 5 that are good to go. Anything else, Mike?
No, that's about it. One more thing real quick on the basketball. I know one of our players got in trouble for Mary Jane.
Uh-huh.
And I think I heard that he got caught with 2 pounds of Mary Jane.
Uh-huh.
2 pounds. Well, his lawyer is saying that that's for personal use.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, from my personal experience as a youngster, 2 pounds is not personal use. That's a crap load of weed, man. So I don't know what's going to play out there. I wish him luck. He's a youngster. I don't want to ruin this dude's life as a youngster. So, but I don't think that's personal use, to be honest with you. But I wish everybody luck. I wish the basketball team luck. I think we'll win the first game, the round of 32. I don't know. But that's all I got, Kyle. I enjoy watching your YouTube channel. Keep up the good work, man. You take care.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for the call in, Mike, calling in from down in Choctaw. Yeah, I think it was 2 pounds, like officially, right? And I think that's what his lawyer is saying is that there's no evidence for him to distribute. Like I said, I'm just on YouTube. I don't know any of the legality of any of that sort of stuff. But what I do know is that Nate Oates said that they're going to be without him this weekend. And what I'm kind of asking everybody, as we watch Alabama basketball is which player steps up in his place. And I think, you do have guards, and people maybe point to Wrightsell. But in the last game, Wrightsell didn't even score a point, which is uncommon for him, right? Because he's done really well this entire season for the most part when he's healthy. And then other guards, I don't know. Who would you – okay, let me ask you, fam. For those of you that watch Alabama basketball, which guard do you think kind of steps up with Aiden Holloway out? Which guard? Because I was thinking, Houston Mallette, he's one of the guys. Bethea, maybe I know he's listed as a forward, but maybe Amari Allen, although he's kind of been – he hasn't been like present, right? So I don't know. Let's do some shout outs just to see who's kind of here this morning. And then we'll take our next call. It looks like we have Randall down from Mobile. And looks like we have Ron from Kentucky inside the comment box. That'll be next in line for the call-in show. And still waiting for our boy Cody. Let's see who's here, though. All right, we got Army 3275. I think Army said, you said it's your birthday next week, Army? Is that correct? All right, we got Chris G. We have Owen Skinner. We have Bruce Williams. We have Danny the Great. We have Broderick. What's up, man? Good to see you. We have Patriotic. Good to see you, Patriotic. We have King's Family Reacts. What's up, bro? Good to see you. King's Family Reacts. Good morning. We have Mimi's. What's up, Mimi's? Good to see you. We have Ryan Harris Music. Thank you very much for joining us. We have Bot Ricks. I told you guys, I still need to take that off. I really don't even know what it does. Shad the Fisherman. What's up, man? Coming to us from Auburn. Okay. Miss Nicole Covington. Good morning. I really appreciate you being here. Miss Amanda Jane. Fresh off a birthday, right? You had a March birthday. Was it last week? Bruce is coming to us from Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have AR4L17 coming down to us from LA. We have Derek Spencer. Good morning to you. We have Ronald, 1477. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see who else. We got the Beastie up in here. Thank you so much for joining us. We got our boy Jarvis. We have Robert Bradley Jr. What's up, Robert? Good to see you. We have Rocket Town. Thank you so much. We got Dylan. Good to see you, Dylan. Man, Dylan, that hoodie should be getting there this week. You got to send us a picture with the hoodie. You want the hoodie. And I think we'll probably start the raffles up, I guess, next week. Max Tooney calling for Cody. I'm calling for Cody, and this is me, Lucas. If we have the back-to-back, that's when it gets exciting. Larry Townsend. This is Larry. I'm gonna always call you Larry Large, right? Because there was an old time where we used to have the old usernames. I don't know what happened, but things changed, and then these are the usernames that we got. Let's see what Justice has to say. All the guards need to step up, period. Aiden was the second leading scorer. Also, Phylon getting the third team All-American was a ripoff. Should have been at least second team. Yeah, good point. I mean, everybody has to step up in his place, right? And I don't think, and someone was like, don't sugarcoat it, Kyle. It's tough. I agree. Losing Holloway is not good, okay? Yeah, that is a big loss. It's a hell of a loss. What do you – because I think, Mallette is a different player. But Thea, we really haven't seen what he can really do. All the guys, yeah, you're 100% right. And I was kind of thinking, what type of lineup does Alabama roll with, right? But still, as Jarvis points out, 11.5-point favorite against Hofstra. We go to our next call. We got Randall calling down from Mobile, Alabama. Randall, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining the show. Good morning to you.
Kyle, how's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. I feel I feel strong going into this Wednesday.
How have you been, brother?
Good, man. Yeah, spring break, March, a little spring football.
I would like to let everyone know that I took a break from my job to call your show. So that's how dedicated I am to watching your show.
I get it, man. Yeah, thank you.
Now, I know everybody's wanting me to talk about basketball. I'm just going to forewarn y'all. I don't know anything about basketball. I don't know anything about Alabama basketball. But what I will say real quick is Austin Mack is going to be our starting quarterback. Now, I understand everybody's on the dream of Keon, and that's cool. But I went to the ULM game last season. Now I know it was ULM, and they get paid to play them. Okay, I understand that. But I actually got to see every quarterback that we had play. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And in the quarter, I got to see Austin Mack, and in the quarter, I got to see Russell. To me, Austin Mack looks like the better quarterback right now. Not in general, not period, just right now. Also, I'm not a guy who believes in the method of throwing someone to the wolves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's just what I haven't really been tuning into the videos as much because I've been busy. So I would like your input on what you think and who you think it's going to be.
Yeah, I love to talk about the quarterback position, clearly. I mean, it's always such a great topic, and I think there's 1,000,000% a quarterback battle taking place right here. And it's interesting to get a call from you for somebody who literally went to that Louisiana Monroe game. And I think recently at a show where I was kind of challenging fans or everybody watching here, what do you see specifically from Keelan Russell that makes him a starter? And what do you see specifically from Austin Mack that you don't have him as a starter, right? Just to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if I was to
perfect. Yeah.
And if I was to answer that same question just about Keelan Russell. So I'm like, hey, Kyle, why start Keelan Russell? Like, what is it? You saw him in 2 games last year. I would say this. I would go back to the Louisiana Monroe game, and I'd be like, yo, from what I saw, there was 2 specific plays, and they were each touchdown passes, right? He threw 2 touchdowns in that game. I don't know what it was.
Correct,
he kind of has like this magic about him that I just saw in that moment. Like, we can all see plays. Like, he stopped, he kept his vision downfield, and he threw a nice pass to MG Cherwig. And then there was another one that he threw on the right side that was also impressive. Like, those sort of things, were impressive. Byron jumps in and he's like, yo, there's not even a quarterback battle. It's all Keelan Russell. So those are the things. Now, on the other hand, I'm like, are we really going to start a guy that's just had 2 opportunities last season? Because that's all he had, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
So
Correct.
and Austin
Correct.
Mack has, I guess, what he played in 4 games, not like an overwhelming amount, but he's got the experience. And let me ask you this, Randall. You watched the Rose Bowl game. We all did. Did you like that throw? Do you remember that throw that Austin Mack had to the right side? It was a bullet. It was like 35 yards downfield, right? Like, there were some things that, were interesting about Austin Mack. 100%.
Correct. Yeah. So the one thing I liked about Austin Mack is, I mean, experience is one thing that's of course, but man, I don't know why no one's talking about this kid's arm talent, man. This kid's got a cannon, dude. Did you see him in the A game last year when they were on the 50-yard line? Or they were on the logo, literally the logo, and he chunked it from the logo to the back of the end zone? I can't remember who he threw it to. And we might have to find that clip. But, dude, he has got a cannon. And then if you go back and watch him when he was at Washington, right? Yeah, Washington. I'm sorry, my brain doesn't work. But he had a cannon there. And I just always like to stick, like, they both don't have experience, but where Austin Mack has more experience than Russell is he has more experience with the head coach. You see what I'm saying? He's been with the head coach longer. Yep. So I feel like that, understanding your head coach, understanding his type of offense and how he wants to run the team, I feel like that experience is going to override. Now, don't get me wrong. Russell's exciting, and he's going to be a very good quarterback, and I'm sure he'll get to know Coach DeBoer very well. But I feel like if I was the head coach of Alabama and I had this option, I would play Austin Mack, in my opinion, because I know this guy. He's been with me for X amount of years. I know that he's going to understand me. I understand him. We're going to be able to talk, from sideline to field. So I personally would start Austin Mack just off of the relationship and the experience he has with Coach DeBoer.
Yeah, and I think I'm with you. I think my prediction is this, and I've said this many times. I think Austin Mack starts, but that doesn't make him the full-time starter. I think they're both going to get opportunities until we just know from what everybody has seen that one of these guys is just the better guy, because this is a no play around year.
Correct.
If one thing goes off the rails for DeBoer, like, the seat is going to get so hot for him. Like, there's no playing around. Like, he knows that. Everybody knows that. We all know that. We like what he's done. But if things go off the rails this year, it's not good. But I appreciate the call, Randall. Thanks for calling in, man. Good to hear from you. Get back to work, man. We appreciate you taking time to call in, bro. Take it easy, man.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide, team, man. All right, we got Ron from Kentucky. I think we had Byron join in late. What's up, Byron? Good to see you, brother. Soli, good morning to you as well. Let's see who else. We got BJ. What's up, BJ? Coming to us from Vegas. We have Thaddeus. What's up, Thaddeus? Bama boy, I see you inside the combox. Short game. What's up, man? We need to set it up sometime to get on the links. And we got 502. Still, where's Cody? Where's this is me, Lucas. Maybe they'll check in on the next show. All right, Ron from Kentucky, what's up?
Morning, Cal. Roll Tide. Good morning.
Hey, Roll Tide.
I'm calling from Hawaii.
You're calling from Hawaii?
Yeah, we're on spring break there, so it's only 5:28 here, but it's all good.
How? Where in Hawaii?
got,
Where in Hawaii?
Honolulu,
Okay.
Honolulu, Waikiki.
Yeah. Okay. So the Big Island. How's the food been treating you down there?
Food's pretty good. No complaints.
Yeah.
It's like
Right?
any other place.
Yeah.
The weather's 77, 76 degrees. This is considered the winter months, but it's raining since it's been here. But it's all good though.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy.
No
Yeah.
snow or nothing.
No snow, yeah. Yo, but we had snow recently here in Birmingham. There was a little bit of snow in Tuscaloosa. It was wild. Okay, so we got Ron calling from Hawaii. Ron, come with it, man. Thanks for joining the show at 5 in the morning Hawaii time.
Well, in regards to the basketball player, prayers out so prayers sent out to him and his family so they can endure what they're going through.
Yeah.
But far as who's going to step up, I think it's going to be one of the forwards or even Phelan, is that his name, the other guard, the main guard.
Are you talking
Either
about
one of the forwards or the main guard.
Yeah. So you're probably going with like Amari Allen or like maybe Houston Mallette or maybe like I said maybe like a guy who doesn't play much, but Jalil Bethia, maybe he comes out and he does something in March Madness, right?
And I think they'll be all right first round, and then second round, once they get their feet wet, they'll fall into the positions. As far as football, quarterback, I've been listening to the offensive coordinator, and he was describing the competition between Mac and Keelan.
Yeah.
But what he did say about Mac, Mac's been with him a long time, so he's like the adult in the group. But what I noticed what he said about Keelan, the difference maker is his legs. I'm assuming he has a lot of speed like Jalen Miro did, and not taking nothing away from Mac, but he said that Mac can run too, but he said Keelan's more athleticism, he can run more, and that may help Alabama football team more until they find out what we got in the backfield between Big Daniel Hill, Crowell, Deere, and Riley. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like all those guys are doing great.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a very exciting year with the running backs, from what I'm hearing. I heard Daniel Hill lost a lot of weight down to 230-something, so that's going to make him a lot quicker and seem like he's stronger. Riley always did have Riley reminded me of Jalen Gibbs with a lot of speed, breakaway speed. A.K. Deere came out at the end of the year. I guess this young boy, Croy, everybody speaks highly of him, like he may possibly break into the starting lineup. Now, as far as like O-line, I think we're doing very well because of all these transfer portal guys. I don't think we're going to be hurt that much. But I think it's going to be a good year for Alabama fans. I think the main thing is being patient and letting the process work. I mean, not lose a lot of sleep who starts. I think Mac or Keelan Russell, I think Alabama's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at the schedule, but I think the first couple of games normally against, Peabody teams you're going to score a lot of points. You get a reputation on. So whoever starts, both guys are going to throw like 3 or 4 touchdown passes with all the wide receivers we got. We're going to be strong running and wide receivers. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, Ron. I appreciate you calling from Hawaii. Get back to the beach. Get back to that Hawaiian coffee, and we'll catch up with you next time, man. Safe travels on your return back from the Big Island, man.
Thanks.
All right. That's
Roll Tide.
roll tide to you, man. That's Ron calling in from Hawaii. Who's been to Hawaii? By the way, call line is open if you want to join the program today. 205-850-1994. It's there to your whatever side this is of me, right? Who's been to Hawaii? I've never been to Hawaii before. I've been a lot of great places in this world, but never been to Hawaii. Never made it over there. And I remember when Tua was the quarterback, we had all these fans from Hawaii, and we were taken care of like nobody. This was way earlier in the show's history, But does anyone was anybody around for this time of year? Yeah, I guess this was back in 2017, 18, 19. Yeah. They would send me leis. So I would wear a Hawaiian lei on the show. Does anybody remember this? I don't even know if I had a beard back then. That was a long time in the show's history. Yeah. Let's see. Anna's been to Maui. Okay. Your cousin lives there? Yeah, I've never been there. Waikiki. Yeah, Waikiki is your favorite? No, I've never been there yet. Definitely want to check it out. Okay, yeah, call line's wide open. If you don't want to call in, if you have a question, you can post your question inside the comment box, and I'll be happy to answer it on the show. As you know, so post your question. If you don't want to call in, post your question. I'll post it. We have some time on the show. Clearly, things that we're tracking is the big news with Aiden Holloway, right? And how that's going to impact Alabama basketball as they play Friday against Hofstra. Still an 11.5-point favorite, as Jarvis has pointed out. And then after that, I think they play the winner of, is it Akron and Texas Tech, right? And then on the other side, you got Georgia and you got Michigan. So we're kind of all anticipating, whoever gets to the Sweet 16, they're going to have to mess with Michigan. I personally took Arizona to win the entire thing. I know Michigan is very good. We watched them one night here. It was Michigan, I think it was Michigan and Duke, right? Let's see what Bama Boy has to say. Bama Boy says this inside the comment box. See if we can get this sized up a little better. So why is this back and forth about the quarterbacks when we all know that we want to see Keelan as the quarterback because most people not really sure about Austin? Yeah, there's just been so much about Keelan Russell. I think out of all the quarterbacks that maybe we've covered, and quarterback is clearly always the most polarizing position to talk about, he might be the ones that fans have been pulling for the most to get on the field. And what it is about him, I think it has to do with the fact that he's a bona fide 5-star. When you look what he did at the high school level against the competition, that is maybe the best competition in the country, right? And I think when he came here, you kind of look to what he has and his playmaking ability, and you just feel that he is the guy. Plus, I think that fans want Keelan Russell to start because he's very different than the last two quarterbacks, right? And let's face it, how would you, if I was to ask you, to assess the last two quarterbacks that have been here, you're not happy with how really they performed. Even though I still feel that Ty had a pretty good season, and I think he's going to be taken in the first round clearly. But I think that fans haven't been happy with the quarterback the last couple of years, so they want a guy to come in that can just, thread the rope. But I do have to say, on the other side of the coin too, I don't know if I've ever seen another quarterback not wanted as a starter as much as Austin Mack. And I'm not going to ever stop talking about Austin Mack. I'm not going to be walk on eggshells when we talk about him. If he's the guy, he can be the guy and we'll support him. But I think there's a lot of people that have been I don't even want to talk about Austin Mack because he doesn't have a shot. I think he does have a shot. Otherwise, I think the coaches would have already told us that. Army 3275 says this. Kyle, question, do you think having such an experienced center in Delgatti will help the brand new quarterback, Austin Mack or Keelan Russell? Hopefully. Now, the good thing was, and it was smart, that Alabama went to the transfer portal and brought in somebody with experience. I mean, they were going to do that same thing at the inside linebacker position, right, just because of the guys that you lost. I think Delgatti, it seems like he's off to a really good start as well. Does he help the quarterbacks? Maybe, because this offensive line has to be automatically better than they were last year. So until we know that starting five, Army, I don't know how much they help the quarterbacks, right? We have to have a set offensive line before we start really implementing the offense, in my opinion. Because if we keep on mixing and matching, those quarterbacks are never going to be fully comfortable back there, right? Max Tooney says, I still think it'll be Keelan. And we have, I mean, shoot, we have a poll once a week, right? And we're like, who's it going to be? And I think the majority of the time, it's even 60% feel it's going to be Keelan Russell. All right, 706. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, good morning, Kyle. This is Dennis King, King Family Reacts from LaGrange, Georgia.
Yo, Dennis, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, my man. I started work this week. I don't know if you saw in the chat a couple of weeks ago that my position was eliminated, so I've been job hunting the last 3 weeks. But I started. Yeah, it's been rough, but God provides. I started this position on Monday, and I start a second job coming up on next Monday. So the way it worked out, I'm not going to miss a paycheck. So God is good.
Yeah, 100%, man. So let me ask you this, because so now that I know you got like a new job and you have some new things on your horizon, are you still going to be able to make A-Day, or are we going to have to sub out until next year?
I am still going to be able to make A-Day. Me and the boys will be there.
Okay, cool.
The unfortunate thing of it is, with not knowing how long I would be out of work, I had to let go of my season tickets. Mm-hmm. So that sucks. But I had a good 8-year run as a season ticket holder. So, it is what it is.
So when you come, so this is for our roll call. Will start for I don't know what we're gonna call this Bama football YouTube meetup. So we got Patriot Life. He's coming in on Friday. We got King's Family. He's also coming in with the kids. So maybe we can do some. I don't know if you're getting in Friday or Saturday, but we'll do something maybe both days. So just kind of keep your heads on a swivel, and as we get closer to that day, we'll kind of we'll put it together. But with that said, man, welcome to the show, and I'm glad that you're standing tall, you're moving forward, and that's how life is. That's how we often talk about on the show. And what you got, man? You got basketball, you got football on your mind, man. What's up, King's Family?
Well, I was going to hit on exactly what you said right before you took the call, is that, we're talking about the running backs, we're talking about the quarterbacks. None of that's going to work unless the offensive line is producing better, producing more. We got to open up the run game. We got to give the quarterback a little bit more time. Now, I do think that Ty had a lot of time at times last season. So that was good. We got to continue with the pass blocking there, but we got to open up the holes for the running backs to be able to establish a run game. Without a run, if we're a pass only offense, we're not going to get far. Yeah. So you hit the nail on the head about the offensive line production. Daniel Hill is impressive with the weight loss. Some of the videos that we've seen, his shiftiness and quickness has improved. I'm a big fan of A.K. Deer. Give him the rock. That could be a good 1-2 punch. E.J. Crowell, he's gonna do some damage. He's gonna make a name for himself. And in terms of QB, also Max he's been loyal to the program. He will get the nod at first. It's his job to lose, though. It's not going to be a wrap by any means. Yep. He'll get the first start, but Keelan's going to be right there with him.
Yeah, I agree. And before I let you go, would you agree with this, King's Family, that we see this quarterback competition, like both quarterbacks? Do you think that we see them play in games 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah. I think they'll both get pretty good playing time games in 1, 2, and 3 for sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because I asked that because Coach Caleb, I think Coach DeBoer was asked about that, and I don't think he'd be a fan about that. And most people don't like that. And I completely, people don't like a 2-platoon quarterback system. They don't. But I just feel that we're not going to know enough in my mind. And I think those early games give us an opportunity to really get those quarterbacks experience. But look, I'm not an offensive coordinator. So that's just something that's kind of been on my mind. And we haven't seen that in the past. When DeBoer has chosen the quarterback, that's been it. There's been no guy that has come in. Like, that's been it. It's just been Milroe, it's been Ty, and then year 3.
I think we may find ourselves in a situation where it was similar to Jalen Hurts and Blake Barnett. Blake Barnett got the initial start against USC in the game out in Texas, and then He went for a series, Jalen went in for a series, Blake went in for another series, and then it was Jalen Hurts' team for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we may find ourselves in a situation like that. I think real game scenarios is going to create the distance and separation between who QB1 should be.
100%.
And I think we'll see both QBs play significant in the first two, maybe first three games.
Yeah, I agree, man. Well, good call, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you and your family, during A-Day, man. Come with it, man. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate it, man. God bless.
All right, yeah, take it easy. You too, man. That's Dennis. King's family react inside the comment box. He's been here for a long time. We appreciate him rolling through 100%. Call line is open, 205-850-1994. I think we had another question come in from Army 3275, and he says this, Kyle, out of the transfer portal players, only who will make the biggest impact on defense, which one on offense? I think the transfer portal guy, it seems like they're really been impressed with Devin Tompkins. I really haven't even seen footage of him. But hearing DeBoer and Kane Womack speak early about Devin Tompkins, a transfer from USC, I think is exciting and something that we should all be excited to hear, considering you lost L.T. Overton, Keon Keeley, Jordan Renaud, right? So you need a guy that can step up in that bandit position, actually be better than L.T. Overton. I loved L.T. Overton. I thought he was good. I don't think he was elite, right? Do we have an elite bandit? And how would that elevate kind of the pass rush? Because if you have him and Yanzi or maybe Desmond Zulu comes around, now you have somebody who can certainly be aggressive with the pass rush. I think another guy, I spoke about him on another video, but Caleb Woodson at inside linebacker. Sounds like he's kind of a veteran. On the offensive side for the transfers, I guess Rayson Delgatti, right, who we're just talking about. We got to have a center. If we can't take a step back at the center position, right, we just can't. So I think I'll probably go with Delgatti. Curious about how Noah Rogers fits into the system, but hearing really good things right now about Rico Scott. But yeah, I'd probably go Delgatti at center, right? Check the call line. Do we have any other questions inside the comment box? What's up, Christian? Good to see you, man. And we have Andy says, good morning, family. Good to be here. Been so busy. One thing after another. 100%, man. If you let life kind of start, going, life will keep you busy. Byron says this, DeBoer is a one quarterback coach everywhere he's been. Great point, Byron. And good to see you too, man. And just as I was saying with King's family, there's been no waffling. Like once he chooses his guy, that's the one thing about DeBoer. He has never waffled, right? He's chosen one guy and then that's been his quarterback. Lee Tuck says Caleb Woodson has been raved about. See, yeah, I was saying the same thing. Maturity, they've spoken about. They've spoken about his professionalism, and that's something that room needs, because all you need is someone who start this year, but also to kind of like help those sophomores kind of acclimate one more year. The sophomore linebackers that we have this year are stellar. We got to keep all those guys. Those guys. Imagine next year with those three linebackers. Daryl Duke Johnson, Luke Metz, and Abdul Sanders. Hopefully we keep them all together. Can you imagine if those guys would probably be better if they stay together than the linebackers were last year? That's a big statement, but I think they could be, right? Haven't really heard anything on the new kicker, Army. Right, you saw him kind of in the preseason, but the photos Alabama has shared, they have not been of Lorcan Quinn. They have been of Connor Talty. Does that mean anything? Not really. But I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about Lorcan Quinn yet. Right? Shad the Fisherman, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. He says, what do you think about DeBoer said to Keelan when that South Carolina coach was talking to him? Oh, I thought that was so funny. So what Shad the Fisherman is referring to is last year, after the game, Keelan Russell is walking off the field, and a South Carolina coach, did we find out who that was? Was it the running backs coach? Came up to him and was like, he put his, I think it was like a piece of paper, and he's talking to Keelan Russell. And DeBoer, like, kind of looks back, and he's like, oh, hell no. So he goes over there. This was crazy. And he, like, kind of, they have this, like, weird handshake, but DeBoer is like, stay away from him. I 1,000,000% think that these coaches are always trying to actively get somebody like Keelan Russell. But I think, was that a live poaching? Yes. And DeBoer got him, and then they, like, walked into the locker room. You remember this? That was crazy. I think the original video is from AL.com. I kind of restructured that video just to kind of put some context on it because I saw it too. Right? Army is asking about Drake Kirkpatrick at punt returner. I don't think so. I think Drake Kirkpatrick isn't built for punt returner. I think he's built to deliver blows. But I think in terms of like a punt returner, I probably put like a Lazier Brooks. Who would you guys put? Who else could we? Maybe like I'm talking Noah Rogers. By the way, I saw some footage online. I'm sure you saw it on X about Cole Adams doing some work at Vanderbilt. They're really excited about him. They feel that he's going to be one of their top wide receivers, right? Look, I think with Cole Adams, he's good, but other wide receivers that we have, even if he came back, he's not going to play over anyone else here, right? I think other things that I saw in the news, I'm trying to think of other things. I saw D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans is coming back to Bama, not as a coach, okay? Not as a coach, but he is coming back as a to speak at the coaches clinic. So if you're a high school football coach out there, you got to come to Tuscaloosa and listen to the coaches clinic. You got D'Amico Ryans. And there was fans out there that wanted D'Amico Ryans to be the next guy here. He look, D'Amico is not leaving Houston. They better hang on to that man. D'Amico Ryans is the man. And I've known this for a long time because I'm a 49ers fan, right? D'Amico Ryans is 100% the man. Also in the news, we have Jalen Waddle, right? Jalen Waddle going to the Broncos. Yo, that's interesting. I don't know who else the Dolphins have as a wide receiver because Tyreek Hill, they probably got to get rid of him. Jalen Waddle I think Jalen Waddle still has a lot of miles on him. He could still be really dangerous, just like who was going to get him the football in Miami, right? Do we have any Dolphins fans here? And I just saw something about T. Martin. What we get about T. Martin? T. Martin is already on campus at LSU and will work closely with OC Charlie Weiss. Martin took over Baltimore Ravens. Huh. So it looks like T. Martin is at LSU. Is that correct? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I just saw that come up. Remember T. Martin, national championship quarterback with Tennessee, right? I have a crazy story about me and T. Martin. I know T. Martin. I know a lot of the guys because I've been in this industry for a long time, but I actually raced head-to-head T. Martin. It's on YouTube. See if you can find it. Yeah, Kyle Henderson versus T. Martin race. We raced in Pittsburgh. It was the craziest thing. Yeah, we used to kind of work in the same lane many different years ago when I was much younger. All right, family. So what's on tap for this coming week? We got basketball on Friday, right? Hopefully, right, basketball can get past Hofstra. I think I'm confident that it will. And maybe that second round matchup, we'll see how that goes. Will that game be on Sunday? I'll have to look at the bracket real quick. NCAA basketball tournament. Let's see. I think if they win Friday, don't they play on Sunday? Let's see. Yeah, I think they would play on Sunday. So Friday and then on Sunday. Is that right? I think that's how it works out. So We have some basketball, and of course, we'll be live for the watch-alongs. So come back and kick it with us, right, for those watch-alongs. Cody says, "What's up, Cody? What's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. You ready to watch Alabama basketball Friday? Give me your take, and how will Alabama do this Friday?" Yeah. Like I said, man, I think Friday, it's a great chance to respond to some adversity that this team is going through. Clearly, this team has gone through a lot of kind of off the field stuff or off the court stuff, right? The Bediako stuff, I think, impacted them. Aiden Holloway stuff, national headlines for what he's going through. How does that, play into the locker room? How can these guys kind of block that stuff out? And which guards can step up? I hopefully some of them. Maybe Amari Allen comes with it. Maybe Jalil Bethea. Look, they're going to beat Hofstra. Hofstra's got some weapons, but they're not a big team. If they play a team like a team like Michigan scares me, right? I think they can even get past Texas Tech. But beating really one of the big teams, I don't see it happening. But I got confidence going into Friday, and you kind of let's see if this team can get hot. If they shoot well from the outside, which we know they can, right? We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Friday roll through. We'll do a watch along right here. We'll hang out. And as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So thanks for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed the call-ins. And it was good to chat with you guys and good to hear your takes as we continue to push past March. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Wednesday, March 18th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube.